Welcome to the Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, the podcast for everyone's tastes. This episode, we'll be kicking it into high gear as we talk about Forza's car battle royale, plus more games. We'll be giving you the insight on the inside news, and we'll be talking about our diamonds in a rough, the underappreciated games during our tasty topic. And we're going to talk about a dude who gets super crafty, the creator of StarCraft and Warcraft and other stuff. I can't even wait to find out. My name is Troy, your surrogate host for this podcast. To my left, we have
Mandy. Brian left us in charge.
That's right. Mandy will be filling in for Joe's position. I will be filling in for Brian's position as host. And to round us out, we have, I'm very excited for this, Mandy.
I'm also very excited.
This is a podcast first. We've been waiting a year for this to happen.
Do we need a drum roll?
Oh, can we please have a drum roll?
We're going to find out.
I mean, if we're going to put it out there, yeah, go for it. We have AJ.
They let me inside. Everybody. And I will be playing the role of Troy and Amanda.
Yes, you will be playing the role of us, but also you are our very faithful fact checker over these many podcast years. Podcast years are actually longer than regular years. That's what they don't tell you. It's kind of like dog years.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Every podcast year is about 2 months. That's what you don't know. So thank you for your decade of service.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
As our fact checker in the field, our dragon in the field. But yeah, so how you doing, man?
I'm great. It's nice to see the indoors. I see how this works now, you know?
Right.
You guys leave me outside. What am I supposed to do? You know?
It's much drier in here.
It is. It really is. So...
Yeah, you've definitely been our dude out there that has not only been a really good fact checker, but also a very stalwart listener, I gotta say.
Commitment. It's called commitment.
Oh, okay.
But remember, everybody is listening, all right?
You're right, including yourself.
Yes.
I hear it now. Well, AJ, I have a quick question for you. And by quick, I mean this could be very long. But you know what? It's just the three of us. We're chill here, you know?
We've got all the time in the world.
We literally have no time limit.
We also don't have Brian. That's a key part.
There is totally not a store that is closing within an hour and a half. Not at all. Beneath us. Not at all. That is a social construct. But AJ, since you're on the podcast for the first time, I would love to know what your favorite games are, like your 3 favorite games. Now, before you tell us, I would love to see if Mandy and I can probably guess some of these.
Okay.
And if we get it right, you can let us know or not let us know and then tell us what your 3 are. But it's something that we did in our very first episode, as you know.
Okay. I do.
So I'm going to go ahead and get the easy one out of the way. I think one of your favorite games is StarCraft.
That is my number one.
Ooh.
I'm going to guess Fallout 76.
It is not, but if one of the Fallouts would be my favorite, it would not be 76.
Wait, New Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the best.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go for a second guess here. I'm going to go with Counter-Strike.
That is correct.
Yeah. 2 for 2. Come on, Manny. I'm 2 for 2 over here.
Overwatch?
No.
No. You play a lot of Overwatch. For
I do play a
favorite.
lot, but think older games. Like
You
classic.
know what? I'm going for the turkey here. Trifecta. I'm going to nail this one. Dance Revolution Extreme. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are totally wrong on that one.
God damn it.
Keep going older than that.
Oh,
it's as your last hint there. So
Older? Okay, I don't know. Tetris? Pac-Man? Galaga?
Mario?
Computer.
Spy Hunter?
Computer.
On the computer?
Minesweeper. Solitaire.
See,
if your favorite game is Solitaire, like the old DOS version of Solitaire.
It would be Spider Solitaire, okay, first of all.
Okay.
The more
Okay.
advanced
All
one.
right.
Spider Solitaire is pretty good.
Yeah, but my third one, I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
Because it would be Wolfenstein 3D.
Whoa.
On the PC when it used to be that 8-bit craziness.
Yeah, one of the first-person shooters out there.
It is.
Wow,
So,
Robot Hitler.
That was my game. That's literally the first computer game that I ever played.
Get outta
and
here.
it really got me into it. Computer games. Before I even I always had a console, but for like PC
For
wise,
PC, Wolfenstein 3D was
that
the
was
one that
mine.
put you in.
Yep, that's
This
what got
is
me into it.
legit. I am legitimately learning this about you for the first time.
Yeah.
I feel warm. I feel like we're really getting to know each other. This feels nice.
We've only been friends, 15 plus years. It's totally good. I was like,
And you've never told me Wolfenstein is your first PC game? Come on.
It's hard to have a long conversation outside. It's really hot.
yeah, it is. I was like, maybe if you let me inside, sometimes it'll work out.
Well,
better.
the trend is starting now,
Okay.
and we're happy to do this. Brian and Joe are currently super in the field. They have gone to the home of where some of our most beloved franchises have begun and industries have begun. They are in Japan right now, living it up in the snow. So our best wishes to them as they're getting their Japan on. They're going to do some special things in social media to kind of show their trip from a dragon point of view. And we can't wait till they get back so we can hear all about it firsthand. That should be fun. But for this hand, let's get into the games we've been playing this week. What are you playing?
What are you playing?
That's a great question. Actually, I'm going to start with Mandy, if that's all right.
That is okay. This week I played a game in honor of the Year of the Rat. Steam had their Year of the Rat sale.
Yes.
And I bought this because it looked adorable. It's called Ghost of a Tale. It's not, in fact, about a rat. There are rats in the game, but the main character is a mouse, which I thought was a little misleading. I was really looking forward to a rat game. And
it's not Year of the Mouse.
It's not. It's
like,
not.
What?
And the rats are kind of the bad guys. So
I bet like rats and mice get confused with each other, and they're not happy about it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
No, we are rats. Hear us roar.
And actually, in this game, there was a little bit of like animosity between the rats and the mice.
Wait, so there are rats in the game?
There are.
Okay, then it's viable.
Yes,
If there's rats in the game, then it qualifies for Year of the Rat.
Were those rats outside? Because mouse are indoors and rats are outside.
No, they were both a mixture of both. Actually, the rats were like the government. They like owned the kingdom, and then the mouse were like a little subjugated. They were like second-class citizens.
Huh.
Sounds like society. Okay.
We gave a that we don't really want to read into it any further at this point.
We all read into it.
But we get it.
But it's a stealth game, which is actually super fun. Is you're a little mouse and you've been thrown in prison for story reasons, and you have to break out of prison and find your wife. And you didn't do anything wrong. It's again about that.
Is it just like a rat maze that you try to break out of? Is that what the prison
maze?
really is?
No, it's a prison.
It's like a
real
human prison.
Yeah.
So are okay. So are these like rats and human and mouse? Are they human like?
Yes.
Okay.
They look like rats and mice, but they are anthropomorphic a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't look like. They don't like. I was really impressed with myself for saying it the first time. Anthropomorphic. They're not like people with rat heads, but they definitely like stand on all fours and stand on 2 feet and talk.
The image of people with rat heads went straight into my subconscious. I'm gonna have horrible dreams tonight. Thanks. Sorry. Go on. I apologize.
But it's a stealth game, so you're breaking out of prison. It's a kind of medieval fantasy.
Okay.
So you break out of prison, and in order to do that, you kind of sneak around. It has like the classic stealth mechanics where you have to sneak around lights, and then there's guards, and some of them can hear you, and you have to like move while you're out of their field of vision. But then it also has adorable costumes.
Oh,
and they treat you different based on what you're wearing.
Wait,
so
you can change your costumes?
Yes. Yes. So you can dress up like a fellow guard, and you can't move very fast. But
I'm
then
a little mouse fellow guard.
Yes.
Hello.
No. You're a rat. You're a very short rat because mice are second-class citizens. So when you're in the guard costume, you pretend to be a rat, just a very, very short rat.
Wow, you committed to that. You didn't even let me know that you were a mouse. You're like, no, I'm a rat. I'm like, wait a second. Oh, wow. So you have to disguise yourself. You're a mouse disguising yourself as a rat to get through
like security checkpoints and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. What? How do you play this game? Third person? Do you shoot things? Do you jump on things?
There's almost no violence in the game. You don't have a weapon.
Wait.
No, I'm lying. I love that. I love that stuff.
You're a minstrel by trade, and you get thrown into prison. So you can play your lute.
Okay, I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah. Sometimes people will ask you to play a song. And
Freebird?
Most of them are never Freebird. There is a bird in the game.
Is there a cat too then?
No cats.
Huh.
Sometimes people ask you to play a song, and it's like a riddle because
Not
you
yet.
have like 8
I bet
songs.
that's like the stinger ending is when the cat comes in, and it's just like Puss in Boots. He's like, hello.
Everyone in the whole
I
game
am
was
here.
terrified. But it's like a mini game because when they ask you to play a song, you have a list of 10 songs, and usually they ask you like, oh, something adventurous, and then you have to go look at your songs and figure out which one would kind of fit that theme. Or someone in a position of authority will be like, hey, play a song for me. But
Wow.
some of your songs mock the current monarchy, so you have to know which songs those are and then not play them.
Why is this so in depth?
The lore of the game is really very good.
Wow.
Like, there's definitely like a deep historical foundation behind what's happening and why what happened to you and your wife happened. And
You have a wife?
yes, you do.
That's what she said in
Yeah,
the
I did,
beginning.
I did.
Come on.
Was she a little mousy?
Yes.
Okay.
So the beginning of the game is you're playing for, I think, the king. He asks you to play a song, and the song basically mocks like your culture and stuff. So, but you're gonna play it anyway because he's the king.
Right.
And she's a dancer, you're the minstrel, and she refuses to dance. So you both get thrown in prison for sedition. Because she's a girl mouse, she gets thrown into another prison.
What?
So the game is you trying to get out of prison and get to her.
I am so intrigued
It's
by
a very,
what this
very
is.
good
And
game.
it's an action game, right?
It's a stealth game.
It's not like a role-playing
No.
thing. There's no numbers or
you move around with the controller.
try not to
and-
get caught.
Yeah.
And then fulfill your destiny and your story as you go.
Yeah, and the ending's super fulfilling. It definitely leaves room for a sequel, and I wish they would make one. I don't know if they will, but it looks
The mouse are in charge.
That's
the next
awesome.
One.
and it was kickstarted.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know how it was kickstarted or how many backers they had, but I remember it being impressive.
Well,
if only there was someone here.
Some way that we could find that fact.
Oh my goodness, I just remembered our Dragon of the Field is here.
Oh gosh,
AJ, can you tell us anything about our Kickstarter?
Well, that had 1,190 backers, and they made $53,000 to backing them. So
He's so good.
He's very
so
good.
good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
But
oh my gosh.
I actually found it super impressive because $53,000 is not a lot of money for a video game. And it's a fully fledged game. Like, I had very, very few bugs, and I played through the entire thing, and it was really engaging. It was a good length. The character detail was really amazing. It was very pretty. And for such a small team and such a small amount of money, that it was definitely worth, I think it's $20.
Right on.
So
right
good
on.
game.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mandy. So, AJ, tell me a little bit about this battle royale you've been dilly-dallying in recently.
first, it's not a battle royale. It's called the Eliminator.
Oh, my apologies.
Forza. All right.
My apologies.
There you go. But
Yeah, thank
just
you.
let you know. Just
sounds
giving you
like-
the facts, the right facts
That
there.
sounds like a
appreciate that.
wrestler. The Eliminator.
Here comes the Eliminator. Dun, dun, dun,
It
dun,
really
dun,
does,
dun,
though. It really does. But yeah, it's an Xbox game, so it's
dun. Never heard of it.
never heard of it. Clearly, in this podcast, we know that because I
We
represent.
are limited by our means. That's all. We do not have any affiliations.
Yeah, we have no biases.
no
Sony.
biases. PlayStation's awesome.
I got all of them.
Nintendo.
I have all the
Switch.
systems. All right, we're good. We're good. So, but yeah, it's a totally different view on battle royale games. It's a lot more strategy behind it.
Really?
Yeah. So for that, it's so essentially what you are. You're a car. Everyone's got the same car in the beginning. You drive around. You challenge each other, and if you beat them, then you get the better car. Or there's also random car drops. So when you get the car drops, you get a faster car, you get whatever better. But not necessarily it's a good thing, because what I've learned was just because you have the fastest car in the game doesn't mean you're gonna win the race. Because
Okay, so just to clear me up on this Eliminator Forza Royale type game, you're still racing.
Yeah.
You're not bumping people out of a circle or so it's still racing.
it's a racing game.
So how does it fit into this genre? There's like 50 cars at once that are racing.
Yes, there is 50 cars at once, and then essentially you are limited in an area, so you have to be in that circle.
So there is a circle.
Yeah, there is a circle.
Okay.
So because Force's map is huge,
Yeah.
so they made it smaller, and essentially as soon as you see another car, you challenge them immediately. You cannot deny the challenge.
You cannot deny this.
Cannot
challenge.
deny it.
Wow.
You have to go.
This sounds like Mortal Kombat now.
Yeah, it really is. You just sort of go right at it. You don't know who these people are, and you're just like, well, let's go. And then
So it's more like drag racing than a formal race. It's
not a
like you
drag
pull up to
racing.
someone and then you're just both like,
Is
right
this-
now we're racing somewhere.
because you'll drive around because sometimes you don't see any cars,
Yeah.
and so you just because you're trying to find other cars essentially during the game too. But then as soon as you see another car, you go towards them, and you're going full speed, and then you could just challenge them. But then you hope that the place you have to go is the direction you're going, or else you're screwed and you got to turn around.
So it doesn't like reset you all and then give you like a 3, 2, 1.
No,
you
you're-
just see someone,
you see someone and you go.
It makes a checkpoint, and it's just whoever gets that checkpoint
whoever
first.
gets there first.
If you don't get there, you're kicked out of the game.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
how that works. But so
Interesting.
how I was going back to that, having the fast car. Majority of the time, ain't nobody taking the roads. We're all going off road. Because that was the one thing with this game was I realized I was like, what's the point of it in this fast car? Because I'm gonna lose because if your car is better off road,
Yeah.
you're gonna be good. So that's why like a lot of times I try not to get the supercar.
Yeah.
But I get stuck and then I lose to like the car. I gotta be censored. Sorry.
It's okay.
So, but that's the whole thing. So you all start with a Mini Cooper,
Okay.
old Mini,
That's
and
hilarious.
then you
All these like super like Mini Coopers that are just like enraged.
No,
Like,
they're not even souped up. It's like the old school one, and you just like literally drive around. You probably go like 50 max, and that's pretty much it. And then sometimes it's funny because I've been in games for like good like 10 minutes, not see anybody, and I'm still in a Mini Cooper, and I'm
Wow.
like, someone's gonna roll up on me. But I've also beat like high-end cars in a Mini Cooper because again, I can go off road.
Yeah.
So every time the map reloads, you're back in the Mini Cooper.
Yeah, you all started the
Okay,
same way.
that's good.
So that's yeah, but it's a different way, and if you like racing games, it's a fun way to play the game.
I like that they're trying different things with genres. Like, this is not a way that I would think you would play Forza, but
Yeah.
it's at least different than just like a standard race.
So in Fortnite, when you load in, you have your own custom character. You buy skins and stuff for it. So
Yeah.
does Forza have that version where your Mini Coupe is blue instead of red? Or
It is not.
put
Not yet.
a
We
llama
know it's gonna
sticker on
happen.
it.
We all know it's gonna happen, but
What button makes your car floss?
I wish we could. I wish we could.
not yet, not yet.
But
Oh,
that's the
okay.
other thing too. Like you can't even talk smack to the other people. You know,
Right, you have no
yeah,
emotes.
yeah.
There's no car emotes.
I can honk at you very like a lot.
That's a missed opportunity. Put like some customized honks in there. It's like
No. Or if you know you're gonna beat the person, you just start popping doing donuts right in
Donuts.
front of the checkpoint and waiting, watching you watch.
donuts the equivalent of teabagging in this
Essentially,
game?
I guess. Or maybe going in reverse and then ending the race, and because you're staring at the other car as you're reversing. You know what I mean? I was like, so. But I mean, there's different things in that, but it's a fun game. I recommend it.
Cool,
So,
cool. Well, thank you for bringing us up to speed on some Xbox coverage there.
Thank you.
The game I played this week was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
People didn't like
Ooh,
that game, and then
boy.
they liked that game, and then they really didn't like it. So I'm curious as to what you thought
a
about
game
it.
that came out in 2017 to much ire because of all of the controversy that surrounded it concerning loot boxes and withholding content and just bad PR. It was just a total like storm of horrible stuff. But I wanted to get into it because I've been wanting some type of Star Wars fix. And at the previous podcasts, I've been trying to download it for so long. It took about 6 hours to download, and there was a 12-hour installation process where I couldn't close the game, and then our house exploded, so we had to like I just put it on standby, and then I just had it sit there for like a week, and then I went back into it, and then it had errored out at 73%, so I had to back out. There was another 9 hours to download on top of it, and so I had to just kind of like keep it open. I could still watch. I decided to I started watching Disney Rebels, Disney's Star Wars Rebels,
Yes.
because I needed some type of Star Wars fix.
What
And
if you just watched Rebels and then held a PlayStation controller?
I was so close. You don't understand, Mandy. Like, honestly, I am just watching this show now.
You gave up on the game and you're just watching the show
I
now.
don't even know the difference. I finally got into the game, and none of the online stuff worked. It was all like I would press the button and it just wouldn't boot up. And I think it just had some
Wow.
updates or something.
Oh, okay.
So forget all that stuff.
It's
I was
too old to be bugged.
I know. I was, but there may not be enough people playing it. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I decided not to worry about the online stuff, and I decided to get to what I really wanted to play, which was the single player campaign, which I hear has a pretty okay story, if not good. And the first half of the story, I'm not finished with it, but the first half of this, I am floored. This is the arcade like fun game that I thought I was getting with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, like where that Fallen Order was more of like a Demon Souls, like they gave you like a good hunk of a game. At that time, I was just looking for some bubble gum to just pop in my mouth and chew. And that's what this game is. It's fun shooting. It's big spectacle, but it also is kind of unique. You start the game not even playing as anybody, but as a droid trying to help your commander escape from imprisonment. And that's just a fun way to start a game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little fun details in it, like where as I'm watching Rebels, I'm kind of like in this like realm already. So as I'm playing this game and I'm able to like call out and scan people, or I can shoot the panels on doors to make them close.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm just doing things that I'm seeing in the show, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. Take this off. Take this off. This is great. And the story is fascinating. You're playing as someone who was, a soldier for the Empire, and then looks up in the sky and sees the second Death Star get destroyed, and then kind of goes like, "Oh, we lost," and has like a crisis of identity to like figure out like what the Empire really means to them.
Wait, hold on. Oh,
I think AJ, I think we have a sympathizer on our
I
hands.
was like, wait, wait.
Taking out of the context of the fact that they're essentially Nazis, the idea of
Essentially Nazis.
the idea of looking up in the sky and seeing your place of work explode, and then just being like, oh, that's an awe moment.
She's like, that Palpatine guy? I mean, I don't agree with everything, but he's got a few points. Yeah. Listen to his podcast, Palpatine's podcast. It's pretty popular these days.
It's a good alliteration. Palpatine's podcast.
Palpatine's podcast. Palpatine's pod.
You should be a guest star in there.
Oh, if only he would have me. He never returns my comms. I send so many droids his way.
Try. You're like, Palpatine, can I be on your podcast? And he's like, no.
Like, oh, okay. I won't try me. I'm going to force him to get me on there. So actually there is kind of a good story there that I'm finding with Aiden, which is someone whose voice shows up at the end of the last was it Rise of Skywalker. Her voice shows up at the end, and I'm like, how is that even possible? So I want to experience this story. It's in 2 parts, and I finished the first part, and there's another big chunk when she gets a little older. You get to see where she goes. The story's pretty good. I think her switch, they kind of gloss over a few things where it's like, hey, she's really angry at the Empire. Then a few months go by and it literally says a few months later, and she's like, let's kill the Empire. And it's like, whoa. I just got to infer what happened, I guess. But I'm having a good time. So I wish the online stuff worked in that game, but I am enjoying the single player, and I look forward to continue seeing what it's about. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I got to go play it now.
Hey, maybe it'll be just you and me on the
see, we're
co-op.
opposite. We're opposite on that one because I only played the online because I only got to play online.
Yeah,
when it came out, so I never played
Oh.
ever the campaign. That's why I'm like listening to the story. I'm like, maybe I should do this because I only bought it to play online against people. Yeah, so
it's pretty good. It feels like a separate game. It feels like a totally separate game.
Online is even better.
All right. Hopefully we can get a match going. But with that, let's go into our next segment, the news. News.
Do you guys? This is what you do at home?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
We have like a 40-minute car drive here. A lot of things get said and picked up on the way.
But somehow it never sounds rehearsed.
I'm going to start off with a little bit of news here. This last week, the latest season 4 of Apex Legends, the Battle Royale from Respawn, kicked off. And they changed the game. They added a brand new character whose name is Revenant. And Revenant is scary as hell, y'all. Like, I used to be afraid of the other players in this game. I played about maybe like 2 hours of the game this week. Not even. And I am literally scared of anyone who is playing this character. It is like a skeletal ghost robot.
Ooh.
Whose opening cutscene is just him slaughtering a family. Because I guess the patriarch of this family is wanted. And but he's a robot and can't turn it off, so to speak. So he just slays everything that's in the way of getting his so like the wife and all types of stuff. And what's interesting is that when he looks in the mirror, he sees his human self. And so the whole cinematic is that he didn't even realize that he was a monstrosity until after this event where he looks in the mirror and he's been like, you see him like shaving and like getting ready in the morning. And then he starts like replaying his memories to notice that he's just been a robot shaving and he hasn't actually been a real person for a long time. And he looks at his hand and there's the mark of Hammond, which is like the tech industry in this fiction. And that's his entire goal, is just to rid the world of this robotics company.
Okay.
And that's like...
Run by an evil hamster?
Yeah, from Overwatch. If they tie this in, just mwah is what I say. But Revenant, he crouches when he walks. He crouch walks faster is what I mean to say. And he's got a gadget that both deals damage and disables enemies' abilities for a while. So a little bit like Sombra, where you can kind of take people's abilities away. Mm-hmm. You know everyone hates that. Yeah. That's like the worst feeling when you're like, I can have a thing. And it's like, nope. No, you don't. His ultimate, though, is really cool because what it does is he puts down like this thing, and it basically gives his teammates an extra life as long as he can like get it out there in time.
That's
which
cool.
Seems game changing because that means like at the end of the fight, if it's just you and another team, you put that down in time and then you're just invincible for a little bit, which is awesome. Yeah. But I think it can be destroyed, so it like you could definitely play
like
around with it.
Baptiste's immortality?
Yes. Yeah.
It always goes back to Overwatch.
I think they still get hurt, but they just don't die. Okay. So yeah, pretty much
that's
exactly.
Immortality,
yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
yep. That sounds like it.
But the way they revealed this character was super cool because it was a fake out. Like we talked about last week, they had another hero that was that everyone thought was going to be the big hero for this new season. Like, and they even made a cinematic for it, and gosh, I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy that they thought was going to be, what's his name? You know what? I can't remember, but AJ's here.
AJ's here.
Hey, I can't remember a thing. It's what you're for. Okay, so the guy that we all thought was going to be the new hero, but the Revenant murdered him. Do you know what his name is?
Who died?
Yes, who died?
The guy who died.
That'd be my boy Forge. Jimmy McCormick. That's my dude.
Jimmy Forge McCormick.
It's my dude.
Thank you, AJ. That was good. Thank you. He's so good.
He's very good.
Every fact. He just has it like that.
We should let him inside more often.
You should to let me inside.
We need a dragon in the field.
We have two in the field right now.
That's why we let you in. But when they come back, no one's going to be in the field.
Yeah. But that's great. That game is still awesome.
Is a dragon in the field just a scarecrow?
Whoa. What is it scaring?
Dragons?
Other dragons.
Sandwiches.
Evil dragons. No, the sandwiches we don't want to scare away. We want to welcome the sandwiches towards us.
No, we want them to be frightened before we eat them.
Ah, okay. Ouch, that's weird. Wow. I think she's been on that Palpatine podcast a little too many times. So she's like, he agrees with a few things. But you know what, AJ? You were so good at just coming in with that fact there. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this news segment over to you. You're the one in the field. You're the one with the facts. Why don't you tell me what's happening out there in the gaming world?
Well, lots are happening. I'm excited to say Steam actually set their new record for the most people playing at one time. They broke their own record.
Okay.
18,801,944 people were playing.
That's a very precise number.
That's a lot of people playing Steam at the one time.
And all of them were Dota.
Probably.
Hey, I was playing Ghost of a Tale, okay? All of them, but one were Dota.
Was Dota.
So we had that. Also as well, Adobe will no longer be supporting the Flash. So all those fun Flash games that we played on the computer, are all going to be gone.
Somewhere Apple is laughing right now.
Yes.
They were like, we told you about Flash.
They were laughing. But thankfully, we have Blue Maxima. He's a programmer and archivist, and he will be archiving 38,000 of those classic games, which is like 290 gigs, and you could download all of the games.
Wow.
So
he's just doing this from the goodness of his Flash
yes,
heart?
he is. That's all for free. So he just doesn't want people to not see where all the games came from, so then you can play all the classic games still.
Aren't all the Homestar Runner games Flash?
Yeah, they're all
Yes,
Flash.
they're all Flash.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of games that are Flash, and most people don't realize it. So.
Bad.
Yeah, you got to look at that list one day. If you see that list, I was surprised by seeing how many games were Flash.
It's gonna be very cool if at some point somebody releases. They have like the mini SNES. What do they call it?
Yeah.
Or like the classic. What do they call it? NES mini NES.
With all the games inside of it.
Yeah. AJ, looked it up for us.
I'll find out for you
when you get back in the field. I would love them to have that before Flash. Just like all the top Flash games, just in a little thing you can stick into your TV.
It would have to look like a mini PC tower.
Yeah, it would. But we have Brian for that. Brian can do all that.
Brian, you're in the field right now. You make that for us.
I was like, Brian, that's your job right there. So that's a really nice thing about that. As well, Cyberpunk 2077. They
heard of it?
Yep, they said that there will be 75 side quests, all custom, which is good for myself, who never plays the main story and just plays all the side quests.
I love side quests.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well,
now, do you know if all of them will be accessible? Or will it be... Because the way this game sounds is that it's going to be so like grafted to your choices that maybe there would be 75 unless you didn't do this thing. Now you have 65 because you didn't go down this path.
I don't know. Maybe. I know it's based on the areas because it's the street you go down. So if it's a certain area, we'll have these certain characters. So you have to just find these characters supposedly on it.
Gosh, I'm so excited for that game.
Yep. So the next one too is Nvidia. Geforce is now want to compete with all the Apple Arcade, which you guys all have.
Yeah.
So they actually are coming out with their own thing called Geforce Now, which has 1,000+ games. Actually came out on the 4th, and it's $4.99 for 12 months.
$4.99.
Yeah.
12 months. And it has just like what types of games?
All types of games. They have a lot of different games on it.
And this is for PC?
At PC, Mac, Android, iOS is not supported conveniently enough.
Everything aside from iOS.
Yes. So
that's
you have
crazy.
That. Yeah. So they wanted to get in there, because Google has Stadia, and then there's also Shadow, so they want to be there to compete. So, but they came in with that price point. So it's pretty cool.
That's a great price point.
Yeah. And then ESA, which is the Entertainment Software Association, they started a new campaign called Game Generation, which underscores the benefits that video games brings to life.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so it's a really nice and great campaign. I was reading more into it. So essentially, games are always a scapegoat. Everyone blames games for everything, for violence or whatever they want to do it. But they want to be like they want to talk about all the positive stuff. So all the positive stuff, what family game night, what it does, with your friendships and all these different things. So it's a really cool campaign. I'm hoping to see a lot more of it. They just announced it. So I want to see what else they're going to really do with it.
Any more positivity you can bring into anything is welcomed.
Yeah.
You said that's ESA?
Yeah, ESA. So, but they have like everybody. That's, PlayStation, Capcom, everyone's, part of it. So
yeah, I'd be super curious to see what they came out with.
Yeah. So they're supposed to launch it, later this year. So we'll see how that goes. And then my final news, because, next week is this random holiday we like to call Valentine's Day.
Ooh la la. Wow, the eyes you just gave me.
I gave you some
AJ,
eyes there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I fluttered a little bit.
We're really playing footsies underneath the table. I just want to let you know that, Amanda.
Yep.
Why is it every guy on the podcast is always trying to take Troy away from me? Brian with his ascension, AJ with his eyes.
I'm just saying, AJ, you got some skills.
I got it. Ancient Chinese secret. That's how this works. But, you don't have to worry about this. But, because she already Amanda plays games already.
Yeah.
So Liberty Games created called Intensive Gaming Course so couples don't feel left out.
What?
So essentially, you can buy a course for your respectable other who does not play games to learn games.
Aww.
How to play the game so they can
Oh.
play together.
Is this like how you get like the cooking thing with your partner
Yeah.
and like bring them in?
This is
You mess
essentially
up a
school.
little bit,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's cute, Valentine.
So yeah, so now your respectable other can play games with you. They offer 10 games, which are the main ones: Minecraft, FIFA, Fortnite, Red Dead Redemption, Animal Crossing, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, The Witcher, and WoW.
Nothing says romance like Mortal Kombat, like your spine being ripped out of your body.
Fatalities, man. Come on.
No.
You know.
I mean, you do see a lot of heart.
Yeah.
No course can make Mortal Kombat fun if your spouse knows how to play Mortal Kombat and you just sat through a course. That's going to be fun for one half of that relationship.
But you're doing it together, and that's the key
So
part. That's
forgive me,
their
but
notion.
how exactly does this course work again? Like do you buy the games? Do you go someplace?
No, you go
Where they-
someplace.
Okay,
So you go there,
Where
and
do you
then-
go?
Wherever they're
hosting these?
They're hosting
All right.
them, and essentially you just drop off your respectable other.
Okay.
Be like, go learn this game so we can play together.
Drop off.
Not on
To class.
Valentine's Day, right?
Or whenever.
Wait.
Well, it's
Oh,
a
okay. It's all
it's
year
It's
round.
technically it's their Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, that
Okay.
seems
So
more
it's
like
not
a,
even.
it seems more like a Valentine's Day imposition.
So it'd be like, oh, you don't know how to play games? Here's my Valentine's Day gift. So now we can play games together. I was like,
That's like when someone buys you pickleball because they want you to exercise more. It's like, hey, here's this gift for you of something that I just wanted you to do more of in your regular life.
It's like buying your wife like a blender or something like that.
Yep,
Be like,
exactly.
I really like smoothies.
Yeah.
Here's a blender.
Happy Valentine's.
Valentine's Day.
It's
here we
like-
go.
This sounds more romantic if it's something that you go to with your significant
Yeah,
other.
together.
and
I mean, you could
experience.
take the class, but if you already know how to play, like you just want, they just want spouses to play together. I was like, so that's pretty much what they're offering for Valentine's
I like
Day.
the idea. I'm a little fuzzy on the execution.
Gotcha. Well,
So-
thank you very much, AJ.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Y'all, guess what's happening this Saturday?
What's
this
that?
Saturday coming up, the Overwatch League comes back
Woo-woo!
live from New York. Overwatch, our favorite esport to watch. Well, my favorite esport to watch. I can't speak for you all. But they come back this Saturday to kick off the third season of Overwatch League. And this is an important season because this is the one where they start going to their home stands. So Florida's going to play in Florida and New York's going to play in New York, and it's going to be fantastic.
It is.
Toronto's going to be playing Paris this week, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then our team, the London Spitfire,
What's
Whoa, your two teams, okay?
is going to be going up against the
York.
Excelsior New York, which is going to be a pretty good match.
I heard they're okay.
They're all right. They're all right.
Yeah. We putting money on it this year, AJ?
Oh, listen,
Are we
I will
are we
always bet
going?
on my soul, all right? Bet on the team
You're-
with the most Koreans.
Koreans. That's every team.
Exactly, I know that. I win no matter what.
I love it. So I can't wait to get back to start the season off again, so that we have a whole crew that kind of watches, and
In
it's
our
a
chat.
fun thing.
Yep.
I don't get to experience sports any other time than now. So
So we're going to see it live, too, in Orlando.
we got tickets for Miami.
Yeah, but then we're going to Orlando
Oh.
to when they play Philly because our buddy Kay is
Okay,
going
I
to play now.
haven't gotten tickets to that, but I did get ticket. We did get tickets to the very first Florida game, which will be on the 14th of March down here in Miami. It's gonna be fun. Are you coming?
Because now that you tell me, then yes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put that in our group chat so then all of us could go together as a team?
It happened yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It's general admission, so just show up.
All right, whatever. All right, let's go.
Anyway, that's a good advertisement for Overwatch League. Mandy, what's our Animal Crossing countdown?
It is 42 days, 2 hours, 50 minutes until Animal Crossing's New Horizon arrives.
Yay.
And I couldn't be happier.
I'd be happier if it was today. But aside from that,
Every second's a little bit closer. Well, cool. That'll end our news. Let's go to our next topic. AJ, I have been hankering for a thing pretty recently. I decided I'm going to start, working out a little bit, get a little fitness.
That's good.
Thank you. But I'm looking for like, you know, people that have like a little bar or something on the way. Like when you're running, you need a little notch, a little protein, a little something just to keep your energy up while you're exercising. You know, my diet's pretty good, but I just think that pick me up.
Like a peppy protein bar.
You know what? Kind of like a peppy protein bar, but that doesn't sound like I'd enjoy eating it. I need something that I'm not going to actually enjoy eating, something I can really chew on.
Like a spicy smoothie?
Ew. Ew. No. I do not want a spicy smoothie. I mean, I would try it. But I can't think of something worse than being like sweaty and gross and then sweating.
You're sweating anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, but you don't want spicy. I want something that's gonna make me help my morale go, get a little better. I went and I even got like I went shopping and got myself some new shorts, got myself some really tight tank tops.
Ooh.
I know.
Hey.
Yeah, so like I'm ready. I just need to make sure I have the right food. What is it?
Is it tasty?
I would like something tasty.
Oh.
That's exactly what I would want. But what could that be?
Is it a topic?
It could be a topic. What if it was a tasty topic?
Oh,
Numb.
I do need something to eat. Well, and drink. I need good drinks. Water is good. I'll stick with that. But anyway, our tasty topic's a chance to kind of delve into something that we've been thinking about a little deeper. And for this topic, we're going to talk about the diamonds in the rough. These are games that maybe the public or critics lambasted and did not enjoy, but for some reason you were like, nah, it's all right. Despite what the haters say, I still like this game. So I feel like there's been a lot of pent up frustration for you, AJ, with a few titles.
A lot.
I'm going to ask you to pick one of the titles and tell me what you like about this game versus what people have said about it.
Well, mine will be, I'll talk about Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, Brian, is a phenomenal game. Clearly you don't know how to play the game since you can't, you're never on it. So
that Xbox is a big barrier of entry for that.
Oh, no, it's on PC too. Cross-platform.
Okay.
So you can always play with different people. On that
Brian
one.
does like a PC.
He does like
Brian
a PC.
does. So, on PC, people are better at the game, so you clearly suck at playing this game. So
AJ's had a full year just waiting to get this out. So feel free, man. This is a safe space.
There's lots to it.
Work through it, my friend. Work through it.
All right. So, but anyways, this game is there's so many different ways of playing this game. Because it is an open world game. There are quests from multiple people you can do, as well as you're a pirate. You can do whatever you sort of want to in the open seas.
The main thing that I saw that was critical of it, and that I also saw from watching videos, is that at the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot to do besides sail the ship. So if you had some friends and you sailed the ship, you could go and like chart islands, but a lot of the islands were empty, more or less, and the quest system wasn't quite there.
In the beginning, yes.
Okay.
There was a handful of it because the whole point of the game originally was you're gonna fight each other.
Oh, I thought the point of the game was like teamwork, sailing.
No, I know, but
like
the thing is, you're a pirate. At the end of the day, the ultimate game of this game is you're a pirate.
You are.
So the whole thing is you're supposed to fight other people. Obviously, some people don't want to fight. I play with multiple people that played in different styles. I have the one group of friends that do not want to engage anybody and will run away from everything. And
they had the peace pirates.
No. I was like, no, it's not how this game works.
What is it? They're not pirates, and they're like privateers.
No, privateers still stole things.
Oh,
Privateers
okay,
were just pirates, but they were hired pirates.
Smugglers? What's like the honest version of a pirate?
A sailor.
Okay, they're just
regular
sailors.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Navy. I don't know. I was like,
they're sailors. Yeah. They're a sea of sailors.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways of playing this game. As well, they also have the arena, which is like their version of the battle royale. You have 4 ships crewed by 4 people, and Obviously, that's where your skill set comes because you have to, besides for shooting cannons, you got to fix
Is
your
that the
boat.
last person alive or the last ship alive?
Last ship alive.
Okay. So if your ship goes down and you survive, that's... Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the thing that you like about this game that people are getting wrong?
I think with this game more than anything else is it's not Sea of Friends. It's called Sea of Thieves. Because the people are like, oh, I'm trying to do a quest and someone took my stuff. And I'm like, yep, you write that number down because I got to be beeped out for that one. But that's the whole thing. And I'm like, guys, if you want to play a regular game, like go play a different game, But this game is, yes, you're on a quest. Yes, you're going to run into people that are going to rob you.
Some people complain that this game is bad because they're trying to play in a way that you feel is not necessarily intended.
It's not. It's not what it's
not
intended
built for that.
Yeah, it's not built.
So you're
going
to be frustrated if it's not working out your way.
Yeah.
Because the game is not made to play the way that.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got people like, oh, I for 2 hours I was working on this quest and then they ruined it at the end. And I was like, well, don't suck.
Read the name of this.
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
It's the Sea of Thieves. Think about that.
Yeah,
a whole sea of thieves.
Exactly. But then the worst part is now that they added the new feature of when you if I'm following a ship around too long, they can report me and I'll get a ban. And it's done.
Oh, right. So you can't attack them
because I keep killing them over and over. But the thing is, if I know your boat is full of stuff, obviously I'm going to keep attacking you over and over again to get all your gold.
It's a hard concept for the developers to try and make a game that promotes like spamming and activity like that when in so many other areas online you were trying to combat against that type of play style. Really, they made a game where that should be okay.
Yeah.
And it should be horrible to play, but that's their own design.
Or there's just a balance of it. Maybe after you get taken over, they should send you to a different server where those people aren't or something. I'm sure there's another solution that isn't just like, every time you crash,
because
you should...
It may be faithful to the title, but like you don't want to be that person that is consistently getting raided for an hour straight.
But the thing is, if I sink your ship, your boat disappears and you spawn somewhere else, like in a further island. So obviously, if I run into you again, I just happen running and not specifically going after you kind of thing. The only time I ever really specifically go after somebody is, if you come and wreck my boat and rob me, and I go into vendetta mode and I'll take my boat out and I'll leave my entire crew on an island.
Say it like a pirate.
Yeah.
Say it like a pirate.
No.
And I send them to Davy Jones' locker. They do.
See, you got the voices. I don't got it. So
this ain't no.
You haven't played that much Sea of Thieves without at least trying a pirate accent.
No, we have run into crews that only talked in pirate, which was amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yari landlubber.
You run into them all the time, and it's like I'm like, I wish I can do it, but I can't.
It is I, pirate Long Dong 420.
So
sailing on the old sea of lag.
No lag. It's good.
Okay.
But
cool. Thanks, man.
I mean, that's pretty much it. And then one last thing.
Okay.
But there is a whole behind that too. There's stories inside of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are stories inside the game, which also there's an island that's haunted and a ghost randomly appears.
Right.
It's sort of like things like that, you think of like in all the decor everywhere else. So it's a very underappreciated game. Obviously, I can talk about this for a long time. But,
I hear you, man. I appreciate you being able to let us know more positive things about it.
Yes,
it's good to have
it's a fun
different
game.
perspectives.
Yeah.
For me, my game is Clash Royale. It's an iPhone game.
Any excuse to bring up Clash Royale.
Yep.
Any excuse.
See what I meant about the people who don't like it?
You know what's funny about that? I just met the number 3 guy in the world.
Get out of
yesterday
here.
randomly, and I randomly got talking to this it's an older guy too.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, oh yeah, I play. My group is this, and I was like, wait, hold on. And then he's like, yeah, I'm ranked number 3 in the world. I was like,
get out of here.
And it's funny you brought that up because literally I just talked to this guy yesterday randomly, and I was like, so
the Clash Royale gets a little bit of flack for number one being just an iPhone game. It's got all the different iPhone traps that you get within an iPhone game, waiting for boxes, an addictive loop style, a little bit of like a predatory kind of system to make you continue to spend money, to lose money. And I've fallen for every single one of those traps.
Me too.
And that was fine the first year. But I'm really talking about now it's been like 3 years that I still kind of play this game. My friends whenever I tell my friend Bobby that I'm playing it, he's just like, delete it right now. What are you doing? Stop. So I get some flack for continuing to play this game. And it's I still enjoy it though. It hasn't changed dramatically in the past 3 years, so I can't even say that there's something like that. I mean, they add new heroes, so I'm constantly feel a little bit fresh. They've added season mode so that my time is being rewarded. Sure, I have to spend some money to get the special perks for that season mode. Oh boy. I mean, like over the 3 years?
Yeah.
I would say under $100. Over the 3 years.
You're not bad.
Yeah, that's bad though.
No,
considering that you can get everything in that game for free if you played it more.
No.
The way you said no, it was just like no. It was
Well,
like
I was expecting a higher number from him, and then I wouldn't feel bad about how much money I spent on the game. And then he's like, "Oh, under $100." I'm like, "Oh."
The way you said no is like he dropped like a wet rag on the ground. He was like, "Pick that up," and you were like, "No."
I'm sorry, but yeah,
No.
I would say I'll round up and say I was probably spent $100 between. But they're bucks that they're so dumb. Like I just want this thing to open up faster because I don't want to wait. Like what?
Like I want to go to bed, so I'm just gonna buy it.
yeah. Or they're boosters, but Anyway, I still like that game. I still think at the core, it's still free to play. You can still play as much of the game as you want, and it doesn't lock you out. So you may not be getting benefits for playing it anymore, but you can still have fun just for the sake of having fun. And that's the real reason why it's still like a diamond for me, even though there's, some rough parts around it there. Yeah, that's it for me, Clash Royale. Mandy, how about yourself?
So I couldn't really think of a game that I play that no one likes. So I thought I'd talk about games that I play that no one's ever heard of. I don't do this as much anymore because now I'm on a podcast and I seem to always have something to play. But it used to be when I was between video games, I would go to GameStop and I would go to that rack in the back that's like the $5 games.
You were the one that they don't even have like a full box art on them. It's just like printed out on a piece of parchment. Wait, parchment?
Yeah.
They wrote it with ye old GameStop quill.
And I would just pick games that I'd never heard of. I like RPGs, and that's where I found Bound by Flame. It's a game by Spider. I have talked about Spider on the podcast before. They are the ones who most recently made Greedfall. They made Technomancer in the past. But the first of their games I played was Bound by Flame, which is a medieval fantasy RPG game. It's interesting because it's not the best RPG game I've ever played. Like there's definitely like relationship mechanics that seemed a little incomplete, and there were like
it's like incomplete. Like when someone sends one person to a video game like learning center, and then they stay at home playing video games by themselves. It's kind of like that.
Like some things felt kind of forced, and then the mechanics weren't amazing. But it's super interesting to play a game that's made by people that just love making video games. You can kind of feel that come through. My favorite part about this game specifically was Troy and I both tried to play it around the same time.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I played like the first few hours of it, and then Troy jumped in to play it, and he tried to play the main character. You can play as a man or a woman. And I was playing it as a woman, and Troy's like, I'll see what the guy looks like. He played like an hour or two of it, and he's like, this guy is an ass.
I think was okay. Or maybe ass is okay, but not ass.
We had to make the vote on the thing. Thank you.
There's a lot of beeps here. It's gonna be great. I show up on the podcast and there's a lot of censoring.
We have a demographic we're trying to hit here.
But you can play as the guy or the lady, and the guy like. The more Troy played, the more he's like, I just don't like this guy. And you play as the lady, the dialogue is exactly the same, but somehow she's like super cool. You're like, yeah.
The dialogue is no different, but that guy's a jerk, and she is awesome.
Is it the tone he's saying this into?
No.
I think it's just because of just like gender types. I'm just over like that dude who's like just being like a jerk. But like a lady being a jerk is like, she's her own woman. Like,
does he look like a jerk too?
He looks generic.
Okay. He looks like every main video game character that's a guy that you can think of. So just like having him come in and being like,
kind of
I'm
pompous.
too cool and I know what I'm doing. You're just like, shut up. And then the lady comes in and she just looks like every male stereotype for a video game, but a lady. And you're like, yeah.
I stopped playing the game. I just watched her play.
Yeah, but it was super fun. And I would highly recommend that discount rack at the back of GameStop. Best $5
I do
ever.
too. Nope.
Right on. Well, with that, let's take it to our final segment of the week. It is our Dragon of the Week. It's the Dragon of the Week. Yeah, it's on fleek. It's the Dragon of the Week. No, it's not weak. The Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week is our chance to shine a spotlight on an industry professional, place, or concept that has meant a lot to us, or we just want to have other people learn more about. Give a little bit back to this community that has given so much to us. So this week, our Dragon of the Week will be presented by the one, the only, AJ.
Hello. You know, it's sort of weird actually watching that live. Just for so long, I'm just listening to it. I'm like, what that looks like live. I'm just literally watching this right now. I'm like, oh, okay.
And now it's a gift. Every time you hear it going forward, you will have it.
I'll visualize it all the time. So, all right.
So we just need to make sure to have every listener on our podcast at some point. And then they'll have the same thing that you have
should
now.
just stream
Or we
That's
could
it.
videotape it once.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Videotape
wow.
it once.
What a concept. We should try that. Right. But yeah, tell us about your Dragon of the Week.
All right.
AJ.
My Dragon of the Week is Metzen. He actually used to work for Blizzard. He actually retired in 2016 after 23 years with Blizzard.
23 years.
Yes, sir.
Is his middle name Blizzard?
Technically, he should be. I mean, he was at Blizzard before he was even Blizzard. So
Really?
when it used to be Chaos Studios. So he's been around for a long time.
I'm excited.
Yeah. When he retired, he was the senior vice president of story and franchise development. So for him, he's done a lot. He actually has a lot of my favorite games. So he was a game designer, artist, voice actor, creating, and he was the creator of the fictional universe and the scripts for Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft.
This is Papa
So-
Blizzard right here.
That is so much.
Yeah. So he made the entire universe, all the storylines, like he did
Just
like
this,
everything.
I feel like one person. I mean, I know you just said that he did, but I feel like one person couldn't have written Warcraft because I feel like it's endless. It's
Yeah.
just like with all of the
it goes
content
on
and
and on.
extended content.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's pretty much created like literally a third of all video games.
Yeah.
Just with those three.
Yes, he has. So
And
yeah,
what they've
he's-
made since then.
and and that's not even all of them. Oh, your mind's gonna get blown here. I'm telling you this. So his actually first work was for Justice League Task Force. I don't know if you remember that game.
No.
Very old school.
Oh, kinda.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm thinking of something X-Men. Go on.
So in 96, that's 1996, guys. I was like,
Not 1896.
Diablo was he created the Diablo universe, and he actually voice acted some of the game characters as well. In 98, he was the lead designer for StarCraft, and he made the story and the script for it. In 99, he then wrote a short story set for StarCraft called Revelation. So he's also graphic novels. He also writes graphic novels as well.
So his mind is just filled with nightmares.
Oh.
I
don't know how he comes up with this.
He's channeled into some of my favorite material of all time.
Yes. So
Fantastic.
yeah, so he does art. Besides for developing games and writing all these scripts, he also writes graphic novels, which is amazing.
Which you can find at Tate's Comics, maybe.
Me-
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, you could.
Yeah.
I know that because I just put some away.
There you go.
Then in 2000, like this is like back to back. He started working on Diablo 2. Again, he did the story, the script, and the artwork for it. And then in 01, he wrote the Warcraft novel set. So it's a series called A Blood and Honor. In 05. He made this is the part for you that I told you was gonna blow your mind. He wrote a graphic novel called Soldier 76.
Oh no.
Yeah. This craziness of
Oh,
this.
stop.
So it's actually a pretty cool concept. It's set in a second American Civil War in 2010 with increased domestic and global terror threats.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, and increase of federal government power.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then, do you want to guess where the Soldier 76 in Overwatch came from?
Is it Chris Metzen?
Yes, it is. So he took, if you look at the cover of the character of the graphic novel,
Yeah.
it's Soldier 76.
So that graphic novel came out before
that came out in 05, and he put that
Get
he
outta
put into,
here.
Overwatch.
I need to read this.
Yeah. So, it keeps going.
Okay,
That's
all
why
right,
I told you
man.
this is
Hit me.
This is the best one here. So Then in 2012, he actually wrote the graphic novel for Transformers,
Autocratic? Aristocrats?
Exactly.
Aristocats.
Yes, we're gonna go with that.
The Aristocats.
Aristocrats. There we go. We're gonna go with that. And then so essentially, how you and I, whenever our games we play way too much of, clearly, yep. So Blizzard was working on a game called Titan, and then obviously it was canceled after 2 years of development. So obviously all the all the artists and the people that are working on that game, they actually moved them to all different other games. So to rile the troops up, essentially, because they felt bad that that game failed after 2 years of trying to develop it, that game platform actually turned into Overwatch.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yep. So he grabbed that. He put his characters.
It sounds like the next MMO they were trying to make, and they couldn't. They just took his ideas and like put it on top of what work they've already done and created a whole new
that's where Overwatch birth came from.
That makes 1,000% sense. He doesn't work at Blizzard anymore?
No, he retired.
Good for him.
So that's
good for him.
But bad for us.
But he goes to BlizzCon still. And
right on.
Obviously
he is BlizzCon.
He is BlizzCon. He still voice actors a lot too for a lot of their characters as well. Actually. Oops.
Yeah, no, I think it's so interesting because I follow Jeff Kaplan, and he's kind of like my main go-to when I think of like the creator of Overwatch. But I always hear about how they kind of spawned Overwatch out of a failed game. And it's cool to think that this guy who has created the worlds for Warcraft and Diablo would also, in part create the world of Overwatch. It just makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then I have a question for you.
Sure.
He actually voice actors one of the characters in Overwatch.
In Overwatch?
Yeah. Do you want to guess which one it is?
It's got to be Soldier 76.
No.
Is it a main character or is it a side character?
It's a character that really doesn't even talk.
Oh, Bastion.
Yes.
Yes, I did know
this. So yeah, he was a voice actor for Bastion. I found that hilarious. I was like, but the fact that everything went into a full circle, because when I was doing this research, like I knew of him in StarCraft and Diablo, I knew about that, but then when I read about his whole like all these graphic novels that he wrote and things like that and all the voice acting, and I was like, hold on. And then when I saw that graphic novel Soldier 76, I was like, then I had to look into that, and I go, wait, that is, and then I saw the picture of the cover and I was like, oh man, that's actually Soldier 76, because he has a mask and everything, the same exact mask.
That's fantastic. I will be reading that shortly.
Yeah, and then so it was essentially, it's hard to find though, because it was technically never released.
AJ too, you'll find a way.
Yeah,
you got
I've
ways.
I've been searching.
Okay, well let me know. I'm in the shirt So real quick, tell me why when you were approaching thinking of a Dragon of the Week, you went to Chris. Like what about him drew you to want to talk about him? Why?
Well, StarCraft is one of my favorite games. Diablo is one of my top 10. So is Warcraft.
Right.
And then just looking into it and then reading, like literally I went StarCraft, who created it.
Gotcha.
His name, well, there's two people actually, but he was like the bigger in the whole thing. But then reading into his life, and I was like, wow, you did a lot of work. But the thing is the fact that you actually came up with the whole idea, the entire universe, essentially. You made an entire universe. You wrote scripts for people.
For multiple
big games.
Franchises that you've spent countless hours
and hours.
That's really special.
So, yeah, and then I think that's why I really picked him. And I'm like, StarCraft was the first game that actually got me into like the competitive of playing competitively.
Really?
Yeah, because, like in New York, we used to have like the PC rooms.
Yeah.
So you play people, and obviously me being Korean, I have to be really good. Clearly, I have to fit my stereotype.
You can't lose your card, man.
I can't lose my card, so I have to be really good. But then, those are the games that actually, really got me more into like playing a lot more different games and really like pushed me to be like, I have to beat everybody in every game, kind of thing.
And it's a really special game because StarCraft is so tactical. It's not a first-person shooter. Nope. It's not a platformer. It is a competitive like chessboard.
Yeah,
because
you got to change your style based on what class do you pick, and if they do play a different style than I do, they rush me. I have to change the way I play, set up too. it's one of those games that are, there's so many different ways of playing that, and I've seen so many different, I actually still to this day still see different things because I still play StarCraft 2 but on Korean servers, and
Really?
I let these guys, they destroy me. You think you're really good, but then you're like, oh yeah, I play in these, when StarCraft, I was like, oh, I'm playing on these American servers, and then you go into the Asian servers and you're just like, oh, I'm nobody. I'm like, what am I doing in my life, kind of thing. So it's really weird, like watching some of them play, and you're just like, because I'll watch the replays of it, and you watch how they, one of the biggest counts they do in like StarCraft is how many times you click. These guys do not stop clicking. And I'm like, what are you clicking? Like, I don't understand what you're clicking. Because I'm like, I'm just clicking my dudes here and there, and I hotkey everything, but they're just like nonstop, and I'm like, what are you?
Do you know
That's
if
the secret sauce?
Yeah.
Do you know if Chris had any hand in the development of the gameplay sides of these games like StarCraft, or is he mostly just based in the writing and the lore and the character development?
He's more on that. He's more into the development of it, but he also has in the game style because his scripts direct the way how the game plays. So. So that was one of the biggest things. Yeah. In Warcraft, he was Troll. So one of the main org people, and then he was like, this is the character that's gonna go. He's the friendly one. Who doesn't want war like all the other orgs. But then he's the one that sets the tone essentially of how everything would go in the world. So
right on.
But I guess it's different because, he writes more for the main storyline.
Yeah.
But that campaign also makes up for the multiplayer, the way how most people play it anyway, the multiplayer, not the
It sets
campaign.
the scene for why the conflict exists. Yeah.
Well, right on. I feel enlightened now knowing who is the great-grandfather of one of my favorite games of all time. And also many of the other games that I've spent many of years of my life playing as well.
A well-deserved retirement.
A well-deserved retirement. This roars for you, Chris. Chris Metzen. This roars for you.
What's up with all these new segments? Why
you're bringing it out on us.
I got all these new things coming out.
Mom and Dad aren't home, so we can
do whatever we want.
Whatever we want. We can do any segment we want.
We need to change the rating on this. Then I would like this to be an R rated.
Let's bring it back. Right on. So with that, we're going to bring our podcast to a close today. Ba-dum-ba-dum.
Do I have to go back outside then?
Yes, AJ.
Yeah.
Yes. We want to remind everyone that we are recording up at Tate's, the comic book store for all your needs upstairs. We are powered by the 3000 Brigade, a cosplay troupe going on 12 years of cosplay entertainment in South Florida. And you can find us online at Taste of Dragons on Twitter and Instagram at Taste of Dragons. This week, we'll be looking at a game that came out this week in gaming history, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Look there to see what our memories are on that. And also for other segments and how we keep the conversation going throughout the rest of the week. And with that, I think we're all done here. AJ, I want to give you the most heartfelt thanks.
Yes.
For coming on the show and gracing us with your expertise.
Why, thank you. Thank you for letting me inside.
I think what I love about you most is that you are a man of many trades and affiliations. You are very diverse in your gaming, from PC to Xbox to PlayStation, old school, new school. You are all over, and I think that is a great asset to have. So keep gaming, man.
Keep on gaming.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Yay, I get to be inside again, guys. Woohoo!
Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see AJ back indoors.
We need 60 likes.
60 likes? I feel like that'd be easy. All right, guys.
Challenge
60,
accepted.
60 likes.
On this episode's Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Oh, easy. Easy peasy. I'm coming back on, guys.
Is this all it took? All right, we're going to see these numbers go up. Well, my name is Troy.
Amanda.
AJ.
And we are
the Taste of Dragons.
Have a good week. We'll see you in Japan. Wait, will we?